afternoon, good evening, good morning here. YouTube is man, always George Page, aka the Emperor of Female Body Talk, coming to you live on YouTube. Well, folks, the week is just about over, and you know what? The month's just about over too. Wow, folks, I'm telling you, time is flying. And, it's been a week since the Olympia. The biggest event of the world of bodybuilding. Yeah, I enjoyed watching shows. Congratulations to the ladies who have competed at that show. Some ladies who I've known and had a pleasure of having on my channel. So folks, as you know, as a content maker, I love reaching out to these ladies, especially a lovely lady like this in front of me. It's a lovely chocolate sister. She's from the ATL. She is IFB Figure Pro Tracy Miller, aka Madame Lavoe. Ha 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 ha. It's a lovely name. So we welcome the lovely Madame Lavoe for the time she's here to give us, and we'd like to share her story about how she got into bodybuilding, what is her inspiration, and just learn a little more about her. So, folks, we welcome the lovely Madame Lavoe for the time she's given us. And this is a question to ask you, ladies: what got you started in this sport, as I call it, muscle and masculinity? Please share.
Well, I actually started just doing lifestyle, and I was a part of a gym that catered to bodybuilding as well. I had no clue about bodybuilding, zero, and but I would see their bodies transitioning, and I'm like, that's something. Let me just do one show. So I asked the coach at the time who was there, and I was under lifestyle with her, and she's like, well, let's just see, because that's not something you just say you're gonna do. But as I progressed with under her lifestyle and stayed pretty regimented and disciplined, she's like, okay, we're going to get you to do a show. And that was 2020. I only wanted to do one show, and one show turned into now 3.5 years and became a pro. So I'm still learning, actually, and every day and every prep and every show, I'm still, just gaining knowledge. I'm still a novice at heart, but and I enjoy it. I'm a disciplined person, so I like structure. So, and with bodybuilding, that's what it just goes along with my personality, actually. So that's what got me in it. That's what got me to stay, actually. So,
Yeah, well, like I say, everybody has their story of how to get into it. I know some ladies because they have an athletic background, they got it because
uh-huh.
they miss doing a sport, something to keep them active. Some ladies got into because, like you said, lifestyle changes. Some got it because it was something to deal with some emotional issues, like either abuse of by somebody else, abuse of food. It's just so many different stories, and everybody finds their way. Bodybuilding is a sport that a lot of people don't understand because the mindset of the everyday person is that bodybuilding just I just take steroids and pills and I get big and very bad. Yeah, 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 yeah. Are you like oh no, no. The sport is about discipline, consistency, hard
You're right.
work. Yeah, the other stuff is just a small factor of it. So
Exactly.
what was that first time like when you competing? When was it?
My first show was Arnold 2020. I have, again, I had no clue on what the hell was going on. So I would tell, my friends and say, oh yeah, my first show is Arnold. What? Your first show is, and again, I had no clue until I got there. But for some, it was for some of the ladies, they were probably upset, but I was happy and thrilled because it was COVID. And once I got there and I saw how massive Arnold's were, the stage, the audience, but we didn't have an audience because only the athletes could show up. Because they were this close from canceling it, actually, because it was the start of COVID. But it was fun. Like, I had one guy in the front who was, yeah, geared because the athletes could come to the show, of course. So it was fun. It was thrilling. I'm not really a spotlight person. I live my life in the backgrounds or whatever, but it was good. It was me getting over that fear, of having to be judged. Literally, nobody likes to be judged, but that's what we are setting ourselves up for, to be judged. But it was cool. I actually liked it. So,
Yeah.
but it had me wanting to go on to the next one. So I didn't give up on that first show. and I came in last place, but I felt like I won.
The thing is,
I
like,
think I did. I don't even. They kept saying, "Well, what did you place?" I don't even know. I'm pretty sure it was last, though. Because now when I look back, I'm like, "Oh yeah, you pretty much brought a bikini body up there on a figure stage." But
well, like I said, the Arnold is one of the biggest events in bodybuilding. But as personally, I am not have no longer become a fan of his show because the fact
yeah,
is that was, I think 2020 was the last year for women's physique at the Arnold. 2021 was the last year for figure, and back in 2014, 2013, 2013, he kicked out women's bodybuilding. It's like
yeah.
this. He's not a fan of the women muscular divisions,
Ooh.
but y'all ladies deserve just as much opportunity. That's why I'm a big fan of a guy like Jake Wood. She has a
That's
little
my
trouble with.
dog. Sorry.
Yeah, she has a little trouble with a little bully because he's being a bully.
She's a being a bully too. Move.
Being a bully, you big bully.
Some embarrassing.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's all right. It's not the first time I had somebody's dog come in the middle of the interview. I'm not a old, I'm old, I'm used to this because it's about, so, So, like I said again, the Arnold, you did last. What's next show after that, and how well did you place after that?
Uh, I'm trying to remember what the next show was because everything was so switched around. And again, I've always just gone, and I know this sounds crazy to people who are going to be listening to this. I didn't keep up with. I just really just followed direction from my coach. Oh, this is the show you're gonna do, and it could have been. I, I know it wasn't a national show. Couldn't have been a national show because we still had to qualify. Um,
It was a
oh,
regional.
yeah, it had to be a regional, right? I can't remember.
Well, we can skip that. What was the show
Yeah,
that
I can't
got you?
remember. I can't remember. Huh?
What was the show that got you your pro card? When did you turn pro?
The show they got me the pro card. I did junior because I qualified. So basically, the qualification, that show you mean? I want to say I did the one in Wassa. That one may have qualified me for the top five, and then I got the pro card in Junior USA's at 2022. So I qualified in 21. I transitioned to another coach and I started doing online. And he sat me out and said, I want you to build. Even though you're qualified, if you go and do a national show, they gonna they gonna whoop your tail when you become a pro. And I'm probably like lightly saying what he told me, but he's like, when you become a pro, you want to have an easy transition into with the pros. You know what I mean? So you don't want to, either you're gonna do it in the beginning, or you're gonna do it at the end, right? So you can get your pro card and then have to sit out and now build to look like the pros, or let's start going ahead now, look like a pro, get your pro card, and now see how you stand up to the pros. So we
Yeah.
sat out for the year. We did Junior USA's, got my pro card, went over to the next weekend. We did New York Pro. Um, and that was, so I got the first like top 10 in the first part of like prejudging, but then when we come back for finals, so I think I got maybe 11th or something in that one. And that was a big show. That was fun, and exciting. And then I sat out for a while, and then we really started going full throttle in 23 with the,
Oh,
just better in the package.
hmm. Yeah, the thing is, it's a process with bodybuilding. It's not like I've often have been told by some competitors that it's not like a race, it's a marathon. You want to stay
Yeah,
as long and good condition and want to maintain good conditioning. You want to, maintain a level of healthy,
exactly.
process because you don't want to rush into something and then you flat out or some other issues pop up. Here we got
Exactly.
here's some people here coming through. We got my man Balls Deep. He says, "Good afternoon, gorgeous."
Aw.
Also, he says she can be my madam anytime. Hey, man. Also, we have is T. Ras Brett, if there's a name.
Oh, that's my girl Tanika.
All right,
One of
thank you.
my
Come through,
besties.
Tanika. Oh my God, it's man Lavoe. Yeah, shy here. Appreciate that. Also, my man Ballsy says Chicago in here. Shout out to my man Ballsy, Chicago. He says
Hi.
also he says this Schmo gang,
Gang,
and
gang.
yeah, that's and also from your friend, she says, let me tell you, madam, is that girl. Wow, she's that girl.
That's my
She's
sister.
that girl, really? She's that girl? What's that? That's a good friend.
Yes, I
So,
love her.
what was that feeling when after you hadn't competed for maybe about a couple of years or so, finally getting your pro card?
It was great, actually. Because I did. It's not something that I went into this thinking that that was my goal. Like I said, when I started, it was just to do one show, and and just prove to myself I could do it. And I did. And once I got the pro card, I don't know if I ever just because I went straight into the pro debut. I didn't really let it sink in that I had the pro card. Um, but I don't take it lightly. It's something that I'm realizing now I deserved it. Like I put in the work, you know. I sacrificed a lot, and still do. Even when you're in off season, you still sacrifice and doing things that I would say normal people do. You just still, you still have to say it's still a selfish sport at the end of the day, so
Yeah.
um cool. But it was again, it's a great feeling. It's good to really say you're a professional in this. So
Yeah. Most people don't understand about the sport of bodybuilding that there's so much that goes into it. The factors of how to train, how to work out, the goals you want to complete, especially if you're an amateur, you want to get to the pro levels. If you're pro, you want to get to the Olympia level. There's so much that's involved in it. But
yeah,
like I said again, you really have to, like somebody say, trust the process. But I won't say trust it. First, understand it, know what it's
right,
about, and then fully trust it. You don't go to something with, completely with complete faith, just jump off the bridge and not see, think there's a like something down there to catch you. You want to go
right,
and say, okay, understand what I'm getting into, what's it about, and then I jump off and see, hey, if I can survive the fall. Here we
right.
got my man. So again, for my man, Balls, he says, peace and blessings, beautiful.
Thank
Also,
you.
he says, smash that like button. Appreciate that, brother. And also, he asks, yeah, who inspired her to hit the gym? So, who got you started? What got you started?
Well, I don't like to use the word fat, but I was thick in high school, and then when I got into college, I think that's when I kind of understand, okay, dieting and exercising and things like that. So I won't say always because I was not an athlete at all growing up. Didn't play no sports at all, zero net. I was the water girl, actually, for the basketball team. uh,
Wait a minute. Give her a second. She'll come back. We just lost her. What's, we're having technical difficulties. Give her a sec. She should be
okay,
back.
okay, so I ended up, so who so I ended up doing like boot camps and things around town and joining like fitness groups, and then I became a runner. So I did like 7 half marathons. I did marathons. So I was a runner prior into coming into bodybuilding. And once I got at that, um, can you still see me? Because I can.
Yeah, because
Okay.
what?
So once I got into that gym that I told you did lifestyle, that was my first into like, okay, let's groom it, like actually tone the body. Let's see what it looks like to build and train. So I would say just the environment, nobody in particular in general. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like I said again. It's about what the timing for you when you get into
Yeah.
this.
Yeah.
And understanding what's involved in it. Running, that's one way. I know a lot of bodybuilders don't like to do too much running, especially that's cardio, but
Yeah.
it's the factors of growing. So you made your pro debut in New York Pro. What was that experience like for you yourself? Be on David stage with some top level competitors that year.
It was great. Like I like the camaraderie. When I'm meeting some of the elites, I guess you would say, and your top competitors. It was great. Certain people, embrace you, if, especially backstage, and some are in their zone. You don't take it personal, but just to see it up close and up front. And I'm sorry, I'm competitive, even though I didn't play sports and stuff like that. Like I'm competitive with myself. So me looking at, it, I'm like, oh, I can look like that. All I gotta do is do this. It's obtainable. If you can see it, touch it, then you're like, oh, I can achieve that look. So it's good when you can see it versus being up close versus just watching someone's Instagram or social media. You don't know if this is an old picture, this was last year, this is her today. But when you can see it, you're like, oh, okay. I got this. I got this. So it was a good feeling to see that. My pro debut, it can be a little overwhelming, but I don't really get caught up in what the next person has going on. Or I just can only envision myself, and that's just like the person I am. So.
Yeah, I know how it feels. I remember my first time with my first bodybuilding show, and it was Savannah, and that was in 2022.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a great opportunity to go there to meet some ladies I've interviewed, meet some women that follow on social media, see people like Linda Murray. Andrea Shaw was there. She was doing guest posing. I ran into Alita Popa, Annie Revicchio. Just
Mm-hmm.
amazing competitors, and it was just for me. Poor little country boy. First time go to a
Yeah.
bodybuilding show. I watch the show on television, watch it on YouTube. I watch it on social media, and finally be there. It's just an all striking experience.
Uh-huh.
So, folks, what we're going to do while we have here the lovely Madame Lavoe here, we're going to jump into her social media for a bit. If you want to follow her, her link is in the description of this live stream. Support her, show interest. A lot of things can use support from you fans who follow her. But guys, it's no offense to you, Tracy. I say this as a disclaimer to guys out there. Guys, no D pics. Stop it. You're sick freaks. I know I know who you are. I'm one of you, but I have self control. Be
Right.
smart, be nice, and don't be that weird guy. Don't be that weird guy. So we're gonna jump in here into the social media for a bit here, and this was from your debut at um New York, and
hmm
you look really really impressive. I mean, what was the critique from the judges? They told you.
It's always been just working on I think on the first one was just size and glutes.
Mhm.
It's never been conditioning. I'm never, blessed that it's never been conditioning. Um, but it's just building size.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And were you always figure before you started, or were you like some
Yeah,
competitors jump into bikini?
my first show was figure. But when we talked about competing, I was actually starting to train as bikini. It was gonna be bikini. And then we noticed how my abs came in and they're blocky. So the coach said, no, you need to be figure. And then I cried because I'm like, they too big. I don't want to be big. I don't want to be big. And now I'm just ecstatic because I don't see myself as being bikini, honestly.
Yeah. Well, bikini girls are getting about as big as some of the fit girls now. If you look at it, even the
I
wellness
know, I
girls.
know, I
I mean, the
know.
sports involved, he's just right on the horse when you want to be that horse, fellas. Where were you at this time?
We were in Jamaica. Yeah,
Ooh, cool. Yeah.
yeah.
I've been around horses, but I never rode one in my life. I'm a country boy, but I never rode a horse. And she has
Yeah.
nice style. This is a nice little, gear here.
Oh,
You know,
thank you.
I really, who's this big dude here?
Yeah, that's like my little brother. His name is Russell. He also competes. Um,
Cool. Yeah. It's good that you have
yeah,
friendships.
I've been pretty blessed to meet some really good people in this sport,
I
and that's
recognize here. Nina
That's me.
Beans.
Yeah.
Yes, Nina Beans.
You'll
I
be
forgot her
stepping
whole
on
her.
stage next year.
Yeah, because I know she did an interview with a guy I know, Amazon Fitness Magazine, and she's
Yeah.
talking about she. I think she has a beautiful physique. I know she did the Arnold last year, but was not
Yeah.
competitors.
Yeah,
And
exactly. She
and
kind
what do
of
you feel is your what's your best feature physically? You feel it is.
oh my goodness. um uh when I'm on stage, you mean just like what I feel like
Hmm.
I have never had, again, it's a blessing. I've never had to be told about my legs. So I think my legs are some of my best features on stage, quads and stuff.
Hmm. Here's a
Yeah.
little. Yeah, here's a little video. You were in London about a month or so ago. You did the Europa Pro
Yeah.
European. What was that experience like going to overseas to another country? Yeah.
It was really dope. It was fun. It was my first time in Europe, actually. The people are so kind, so kind. It was different, because they're 5 hours ahead. So I was thinking that was gonna be, you know, uh, a battle, but it wasn't. It actually wasn't. I was able to still stay on the same regiment as I would be over here in the States. But it was good. I took all my food, put it all in my suitcase, so I didn't have to worry about trying to find food.
Yeah. Especially if you got to go through TSA. They're gonna get food
Exactly.
issues.
So
Yeah, I
yeah, I
know.
just packed
Yeah,
everything. Yeah.
yeah. A friend of mine, she was traveling. We got some lovely ladies here. Who are these ladies? These your friends of yours?
So the one in the middle is one of my best friends, Connie. She travels to all my shows with me, and then the front one is my sister.
Oh,
Yeah,
have a nice little dinner.
yeah, it
Hanging
was
out
her
with
birthday.
friends. Oh
Yeah.
yeah, so well, happy birthday to her.
Yep.
But like I said, it's the thing is it's good that you have support because some
hmm
people don't understand this sport, especially families and friends, because it's
Exactly.
something totally different. And this is I
Yeah, I'm
remember you
pretty
talk.
blessed because a lot of my circle, they embraced it. Like my sister now is working out. Connie, who you just saw, she knows, and she can say, "Oh, he gonna win," or "That's that." Like she can definitely break down a body down. So, and it's funny to me that they understand the sport now.
Yeah, you get an education when you get into sport. Like when I was been a fan for a long time. Like I grew up at the tail end of the Arnold Schwarzenegger era, the Lee Heaney era, Corey Everson, Linda Murray, and then when I started doing content, I really got education from my interviews with some of you ladies. I get a
Uh
lot of
huh.
mentions. I love these affirmations you put in your videos. It's
Yeah,
really yeah.
that's
That's
me as a person, though. I try to always see light.
And
Yeah.
you are Master Olympia qualified because you earned your qualification at the Max Fit
Right.
that was this summer.
Yeah.
Very impressive. I think like I said, the Masters is going to be in Tokyo, Japan this
Correct.
year.
Correct.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, that's a long way to go. But if you especially want an opportunity to get to the Olympics, it's Olympic qualification
Uh
show.
huh.
You deserve to get there. So, you know, as a competitor, what do you feel is what really makes you motivated to compete as an athlete?
What makes me motivated?
Yeah.
I don't really think it's about motivation at this time. I just think it's the discipline for me. Because my motivation just comes and goes. Like, I wasn't motivated at all today, but I still got up and just did my fasted, like, because I just know what I'm supposed to do. And again, if I have a coach and they are telling me, okay, this is the blueprint, I don't want the blame to be on me. So I'm like, okay, let me just keep doing. I did exactly what y'all said to do, so it's not on me. You know what I mean? So, and I see people all the time. They cheat, they do this, and they point the blame. But I'm, again, if you know you did everything, it's better for your coach to be able to say, okay, now we got to rethink some things. Now I got to blah blah blah. So it's a two part, Um, so it's not so much of the motivation for me. It's that I'm motivated. It's the discipline. And if I go on the next time I go on stage, all of this is going to count. What I did in between time. So and again, we're getting judged. So if you already got a critique, so the next time you get up there, you need to have improved. If not now, like, damn, she really worked on those. You know what I'm saying? So that's the part, I guess, that would be motivating, actually seeing the change. Um,
Yeah. Yeah, it's
yes.
part of the process as you grow. Discipline is the one biggest factor. Sticking to a regimen, sticking to a plan. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, consistency. That's the big
Yeah.
part. It's not. You just can't say, you know what, I want to skip a leg day, but then you have to get up because even though you don't have that motivation, you still have that discipline that
Yeah,
push you to
exactly.
keep going forward. Like the best way to say it, like no matter how hard life hits you, it's how hard you
Hmm.
take the hit to keep moving forward. Like Rocky Balboa says. So
Exactly.
yeah. So as you been competing for it's quite for a while, have you feel like that, especially if you look at your division, the
Hmm.
changes how it's has evolved over the time? I mean, if you look at it now, just saw that City Gillen has stepped away from has decided to retire after number 8. Did you watch the Olympia?
I did.
Yeah,
I did.
yeah.
I did.
What? Yeah. What did you enjoy? Who were you rooting for if you were watching? You have a favorite?
I don't know if I just had favorites. Sydney is always a beauty. She's just a beauty every time. So I think we're all anticipating what she's gonna do this year. Because she just is such. She's graceful. So I don't know. I didn't have any doubts that she wasn't gonna. It's her show to lose. But I had several people that I know who were competing. So just watching them do their thing, it's just amazing. Again, you have to be happy for all of those, whether you know them or not. They earn that spot, right? So it's just that's the again, to piggyback on that question that you asked previously. That's the motivation. That's the stage you want to hit. So but all around in all the divisions, I was super impressed. Last year you couldn't have paid me to watch the men's or 212. Like, that was, now I just love the art of bodybuilding. So now I'm like looking at all of the divisions, even down to the wheelchair. So, but it was just fun. It was just fun to watch. It was good to see the winners that won, even those who um, regained their crown, and those who now there's the new. So it was good. Just, I don't know if I per se had any favorites, but I definitely had girlfriends or associates that I know who were on stage, and of course I'm rooting for them.
Well,
Yeah.
me personally, I don't like watching banana hammocks and board shorts. That's just me. So but I'm not a big fan of bikini wellness. I mostly like to. I will watch. I'm a big fan of women's bodybuilding. I like physique.
Yeah.
Figure a little bit. I know I interviewed a couple ladies who competed in women's physique at that show, and I was congratulations to them. That was their debut.
Yeah.
I really, as I met my crowd, I'm a super smell. I will pay attention where. But one woman I really am a fan of, and she is the queen herself. And that's Miss Andrea Shaw.
I know she's a beautiful lady. I've never met her.
She,
I've seen her a couple
I
of.
mean, she's just amazing. I interviewed a young lady who yesterday who was at the Olympia, got a pro card,
Oh.
Dominique Geis, and she was there. And and also a friend of mine last year. I always like to bring this out because this is why I enjoy doing what I do. When
Hmm.
people who I come friends with give me gifts and rewards. And a
Hmm.
friend of mine was at the last year's Olympia. She got me
Hmm.
this issue. I had it upside down. She got me this issue of muscle
Okay.
development. It's I think the last issue, the first issue we ever have a woman's bodybuilding on the cover. And Andrea, she signed it for me.
Oh, that was super sweet.
I love it. I
Oh,
hug it. I love it. Hug it. I call it George. I mean, my poor little bunny rabbit. I need to put it in something because it's getting a little rough on the edge. But I don't know. I just like to bring it out one of my interviews because I really want to show people that this is why I do enjoy what I do because I get the awards from it.
yeah.
And but yeah, I can understand, really admiring, um, the competitors, the art of muscle, how develop, how you build, how you grow as an athlete.
Right.
And, and it's a process. Like with Sid, now she's stepping away. Looks like there's a good chance that she just competed this weekend. I think she competed
Right.
this weekend. Jessica Reyes Padilla, she just won a Masters at Hurricane Pro. She's doing Open.
And I've
She
met
might.
Jessica a couple times. She's so sweet, like such a nice lady. So yeah, I wish her the best as well. Yeah, I think
Yeah,
she, I think she was center the last time I saw some of the pictures this weekend. So
yeah, yeah. So, like I said, is it's again with figure, it's starting to evolve where it's getting to the point where some of the women, like I just saw this one lady who just competed at Olympia, who did a couple of physique shows before she made her Olympia debut.
hmm
I think I don't know if y'all did the same shows together. No, her name is Manon DeLilly, and
hmm
she's going to be switching over to women's physique after this year. She's already done two shows. Do you feel as a competitor that you are at your best at this division, or you feel like you are getting to the point that you might evolve and move up, or just how do you feel? Where you want to go? Where your coach is talking to you about?
okay. So just so I'm clear, what's the question?
The question is like, would you ever, like I said, it's like, would you ever consider, like I said, is the figure division is evolving, and some of the women are looking closer to like women's physique? Would you ever consider making that move yourself, or you think like you feel more comfortable where you are right now?
Well, I'll go again. I just follow direction, and my coach is one that whatever your body's doing, sometimes people can, if my body, unfortunately, like I have the issue of holding size, so my body naturally wants to just be small sometimes, so it's like, girl, you're gonna look flat and droop, so we need full glutes, right? So as you get into prep and or yeah, your 12 weeks and get down to the last 2 3 weeks, now we like, shit, we gotta hold some size, you know what I'm saying? So now we try to eat. So I don't know if I'll ever get there to women's physique per se, but who knows? But no, whatever my body says, if it grows and it wants to be women's physique, then hey, I don't know if me personally see myself doing it because they do a whole routine. Like my hat's off to them. I'm like, I don't know if I could do that. But never say never. But I don't see myself out there dancing and doing splits. I've never done a split in my damn life.
You don't have to dance to split. You just do a little posing, like something nice.
I know. I
I
think that's the
know.
whole art to that stuff.
I think one thing. I think some women who transition because one thing they want to get rid of those clear heels. I mean,
Yeah. I
that's
like
the
the
thing.
heels. I'm
Well,
I'm a heel girl.
yeah. And you mentioned your coach. What's his name? How long y'all been working together?
It's Ford Steele. We've been together now since 2021. So end of June. So and
Yeah,
with
that's
2024, so 3 years. So
that's good.
technically, like I would say, I mean, I've only had two coaches. First one I kept for a year, and then him. That's all I know.
Yeah,
And
that's
so,
good. That's good. You have a good relationship with your coach, and he
mhm.
understands you and your body, how you grow and develop.
Yeah,
Some ladies they find a coach that may not, especially for women, because
yeah,
I think I hear sometimes some women say they feel more comfortable if they had a woman as a coach because understanding the biology and the physiology and all stuff of a woman, you know. But if you find a coach that he can understand who you are as a competitor, how you grow, how you develop, the process of how you train, that's
mhm.
relationship. So, like when you're training, especially, what is that exercise that you like the most? To say, I love it, I just love it, and that one say, damn, I don't want to do this shit.
Oh, if you working hard enough, you ain't gonna like none of this shit. To be honest with you. So, um, what I just it used to be when I first started, I used to love doing leg days until I came over to Forest Hill and I'm like, I fucking hate leg days,
Who's that?
because the intensity just his leg days are just not for the weak, okay? So then it became okay. back, because I did more back than anything. I think whatever you do the most, so again, before my critiques, I needed to build my back. So we have more back days, So again, you just get comfortable with what you do consistently, right? So now it's glutes, and I'm like, oh my God. But I know eventually the more and more I'm doing these glutes on their own days, it's going to get easier. Because, hey, y'all going to look at it and be like, damn, did she go to wellness? Because I'm finna work on these glutes. But, so I don't know. Right now, like to me, back is easy, and glutes are now, it's not like, I hate this, but you got to feel the burn. You got to go through it. It's a muscle you got to grow. So I
Yeah,
did
because
glutes last night. So,
yeah, that's the thing. It's a process about consistency.
yeah.
And I know most bodybuilders. I had a few ladies say they love leg day. I call them mutants. Anytime you say you love leg day, you're a mutant. No one loves leg day. It's
Let
like,
me get my charger. I can hear
uh,
you. Yeah, but no, I used to love leg day. Like, it wasn't no problem for me, but, mm-mm.
yeah. I mean, like maybe the episode of my favorite episode of the Chappelle Show, where Charlie Murphy meets Rick James, and they all go back to. You remember the episode when they go back to Eddie's house, and Rich is like, "F your couch, Eddie Murphy, F your couch," and Charlie and Eddie beating his legs. He's just like, "You darkness, black," and Dave is crawling. I said, "What about my legs, Eddie Murphy? What about my legs, Charlie Murphy?" That's a back leg day for a bodybuilder, but
Yeah,
especially for you in figure, you have to have those round cap shoulders. You wanted that wide back. You want
yeah,
that natural V taper. Because
right.
I'm really learning a lot, especially like I've interviewed most of my good interviews, most of them women in bodybuilding physique. I've
Yeah.
interviewed women in figure. I've even interviewed women in bikini. I just had a lady. I've interviewed ladies who compete in wellness as amateurs, but I had my first official. Was it about a week or so ago? Wellness competitor on here. She was a physique competitor. You know,
Okay.
yeah.
Good.
So so like after the Europa, I know one thing as a competitor. You're on a diet. You're prepping. You can't eat everything you want. But then you get the opportunity to enjoy yourself. You're over there in Great Britain. You had some flakes and beans, bangers and mash. What was that thing you ate? Uh, madam, what was that thing you wanted the most after your last show?
This time, to be honest, was the first time, like, since competing, that I just really allowed myself to enjoy food and relax, and just like take a week off. I'm like, what? So, I had a little bit of every. I'm a pescatarian, by the way, so I don't do anything but fish, and I've been like that now for like 10 plus years. Like, when I started doing this, I was borderline already like a vegan vegetarian, so I implemented fish again. um so I never just been like a big eater, but I like me some cheese pizza. And so I think I had pizza, I had my Beyond Burgers. And over there in Europe, it wasn't I think I my biggest cheat was doing like their French toast or waffles or something that they made for breakfast. But no. I had my cheesecake. It got back when I was in the States, I was like, okay, I need to start making a list of all this stuff that I want when I'm in prep. Because I always tend to forget it. And it's not until I come back in prep and I'm like, damn, I should have did this. Or I forgot. So, but no, I really enjoyed. I'm back on my regular scheduled program now for improvement season diet. But oh, I enjoyed myself. I had cheesecake, some drinks. Yeah, I party. I was outside for at least 2 or 3 weeks.
Yeah, yeah. One more sip. This kind of like, hey, one more
I
sip,
know.
girl.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, you should
And now
enjoy
I don't
yourself.
have any cravings. Like, I don't even have any desire for it, really. So,
Well, that's the thing is food is part of the process, especially for our bodybuilder. It's the
yeah,
thing that sometimes I say like this: it can make you stranger or make you stronger.
right.
It's just the taste of it, and just the feel of it when you eat something very, you know, delectable, and just I can't help myself. I'm just a dog chasing cars, sometimes.
Right, right, right,
And
right.
that's the thing that PDM said, that you just can't eat everything. You have to
Yeah.
stick to a diet. You have to be regimental. What's like your, especially when you do your day, what's your meal prep like? Or like we get ready for, especially when you work it out in training.
I think it's the same like everybody else. Except I don't have the steak or the chicken, or it's fish, 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 fish. um, the morning, egg whites, spinach, and then my other meals is just spinach, rice, and fish. It doesn't change. Not it's like this for a whole year. I eat the same thing. Even when I go out to eat, my friend's like, "You gonna turn into a salmon," because it's always just salmon, spinach, and whatever the carb is. Um, but again, that's just how I choose to eat. That's my options. Unless I don't eat, I still need the protein. So I'm like, I know I need the fish, but sometimes I can go without eating the meat actually at all and just do straight veggies. But that's not gonna help me grow.
Mhm. Yeah, because
So yeah,
yeah, protein is a very important part about growing as a bodybuilder. I know I've interviewed a couple ladies who are, vegan competitors
yeah,
who, and it's hard to find that alternative to,
right,
protein. There's like soy and also there's tofu. But then
hmm,
if you are a division where you need to be larger and you need
right,
that size,
yeah,
especially, for conditioning, and
hmm,
you need to eat, a certain protein. If it's fish, that's good. If it's beef, if it's chicken, if
yeah,
it's, turkey, but it's just about how you grow as an athlete. So
exactly.
now you say you're in the process, it's rest of the season. So is there a plan to compete next year, or you feel like you just need more time?
No, we will definitely come out next year, but we always pick our shows on how my body's growing, you know. So the first show this season was Atlanta Pro, and he told me literally at the 12-week mark. He might have told me Saturday, okay, you're doing Atlanta Pro. Tomorrow made 12 weeks. You know, and I'm like, okay, so let me switch my head around to now we in prep. So it's basically prep. I'm like, you sure? He like, I'm absolutely sure. I'm like, okay. I don't go back and forth. I'm like, okay. So again, it's just how my body, you know, if he sits me out, then I'm fine with that, because again, he knows what's best, you know.
Hmm. That's good that you trust your coach. You have faith in him and his
Yeah.
plan for you. I'm thinking
Mhm.
about, because my oldest niece, she lives in Atlanta. I'm thinking about going to that show next year,
That's
stay
so
with
amazing.
her. Yeah,
Yes.
it's a Linda Murray show, and
Right.
Linda Murray is the woman that really, she's been stepping up. I went to Savannah. I actually remember I was sitting in the VIP section. She's up there with the judges, and and she turned around, she smiled at me. I was taking pictures. I smiled back. I wish I could talk to her, but I know she's a
She's
busy
such a
lady.
nice lady, and she is just as friendly as she can be. Her, Lee Haney, all of them are just super, super nice. They give back to the sport as much as they can, from what I have seen.
Yeah,
They are very, very approachable, and so why not do their show?
yeah,
And again, that's home. So,
yeah, yeah. Because that's the eight crowd: Lee Haney,
uh-huh,
Linda, Ronnie.
uh-huh,
Now you have you know. Sid, and there's also Alina, Garcia. That's the eight crowd. Then you have number 10 at the top. That's Iris Kyle. And I mean, people could say like, oh, she won 10 Miss Olympias, but still 10 Olympia titles.
I
How many
know,
have you won?
I
So
know.
we have
Yeah.
here my man KL, the Wanderer shot here. The KL coming through. He says, "Hey, what's going on? Not much, brother. I'm talking to the lovely Miss Tracy Miller, aka Madame Lavoe. So kind of
Hmm.
made the two names, but
Yeah, because
but
it's still
yeah,
my middle name. Laveau is my middle name.
yeah.
Yeah.
What kind of what's that? What's the origins of that name? Where did it come from?
Well, my dad just came. I used to ask him, "Why you name me?" And he could never really come. So I always said, "Oh, it's love." But I learned about Madame Laveau or Marie Laveau out of New Orleans, and she was a they call her the Voodoo Queen or whatever. But and not in the essence of voodoo being bad, because that's again, I don't want to go historic on us, but voodoo is in, it was turned around to be made like it was evil. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
Mhm.
but yeah, just learning her name and stuff. I'm like, yes, Madame Laveau, like, like she did good for her people. You know what I mean? So I think it's French. I'll say French.
Possibly. Yeah,
Yeah, because
especially
that's where
if
her came from.
yeah,
Hmm.
especially in New Orleans and Louisiana. Yeah, they have a strong French history. French, Spanish is coming. And, voodoo is a more of a religion. It's like Wicca. It's
Hmm.
natural. But people in this country of Christians and whatever they call themselves, they like to change it out. But that's how most people
But back
start.
in the day, it coincided. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? It was just you still healing, and all of that stuff came from that. So
Yeah.
I don't think it's a bad thing.
Well, how some people take things and twist them just because
Yeah,
their beliefs are ideology. Especially you got a holiday coming up that's Halloween, and that's
yeah,
was celebrated for years. But it's not about celebrating the devil. It's all about the life and energies of nature. But
yeah.
little kids just around wearing suits like that. I know I'm Brado Candy in the house. Hey, my lights off, my door shut. Don't come to my house. So stay home. So I would say you ladies, you work hard and you deserve a lot of recognition. That's why I do this channel. You
Oh,
know,
thank you.
for like one of my favorite quotes from a movie, the Dark Batman Begins, where Jim Gordon says to Batman, "I never get a chance to thank you," and he turns around and says, "You never have to." That's why I do this because give y'all a voice. People don't understand. For you ladies, it's a cost. There's more expense to be a competitor compared to the men who just got to wear banana hammers and board shorts. Y'all ladies
Hmm.
have to your suits. That's right. That suit you wear at both at the Atlanta and at the Europa. Those are beautiful suits.
Thank you.
Who designed it?
Oh, I had two. Miss Kathy out of Atlanta. She's just a little lady that enjoys doing costume suits. She does. Her and her sister do a company. Her sister does like a dance, little girls dance teams or whatever. So she makes their costumes, and she kind of dibs and dabs into competitive suits as well. And that's Kathy. And then the second one, Flexibella, who's well known. I think she did like maybe 10 of the ladies in Olympia suits. And had her revamp the tuxedo look. But yeah, two different people.
Well, if you ever have their like social media platforms, I'd love to share because I know some competitors who probably can use nice
Mhm.
suits, something that you can share with me. I'll share with them because that's why I like to do that because sometimes gives a help out, especially for you ladies. Because like I said, the cost of the suits right there, that's everything. Your travel expenses. Then you got to throw in your hair and makeup. In your division, you got to wear the high heels. You have
Mhm.
to be presentable, have to maintain that look of femininity, and it
It's all
costs
about
y'all.
it's the total package. Like you have to have the total package.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah. You got to be both beauty and the beast at the same time.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So, what? Like I said, who do you right now you really admire in the sport? Is there anybody you really think this is a person that I really just especially when you get to meet them? Like you talk about Jessica. Anybody else you really have been like a fan of ever since you've been competing?
Ever since I've been competing,
Yeah.
I wouldn't say ever since I've been competing because I'm being brutally honest. I didn't. I only did like.
Give us more, folks. Give us a moment. Give us a moment.
I'm being brutally honest. I truly did not know who to look at. Like I didn't go to I didn't know who was who. I didn't follow people's social media. I only knew what my coach was telling me to do, right? So this last year or so, I really gotten into understanding it, looking at different physiques, but not to the point of me comparing myself to them because everybody's chapters are longer or their stories. So I can't compare myself to somebody who's been doing this for 10, 12 years to my 3.5. You know what I mean? Or vice versa. Um, but Zenobia is one that I really truly admire, who has become like a sister. Um, she also played a really huge role in this season for me. Not only for posing, but she did my nutrition. But I admire her tenacity, just what she gives back, her humbleness. Um, I don't think that she's given the flowers that she deserves, but they're coming. You know what I mean? It may not, and again, it may not look like what how others perceive theirs, but she's more than deserving, and I can't wait till she gets back on stage next year. Um, but that's one I can honestly just name because I know her. You know what I mean? But I admire pretty much. I'm happy for anybody that gets up there and they are looking their best and can potentially set the new standard or coming close to what the standard is. But again, it's evolving. So now that Sid's gone, we'll see what the new standard is. So.
Yeah, I mean, if guys you don't follow, she's mentioned Nicole Zenobia Graham, who has been a multiple
Mhm.
time Olympic competitor, amazing lady, amazing physique. I remember last year when she announced that she had to take a step back due to some
Mhm.
medical issues, and I was kind of like I was hoping she would make the show because she has a amazing physique. One lady who I follow, I recently posted something of one of her pictures, and that is the lioness, and her hair. I know her name off the top of my head. She's from Canada. She's God, her head's top. I posted. I took one of it. She
Who,
was a
Lola?
picture of her.
From Canada, and you're not talking about Lola, right?
I like Lola. No, this is another
Uh-huh.
lady. They call her the lioness on her IG.
Oh,
I know. Is it, no, Maggie Watson. Maggie Watson. Just
okay.
yeah. Beautiful physique. She posts stuff on social. I follow her. I'm like I said, I posted one of the pictures on my in my IG stories, and she liked it. And I said, she's a beautiful woman. I can't lie.
Oh,
Beautiful black woman. Just
shout
as a
out to the Black Girl Magic,
I
Maggie.
as a fan, I love like I said, I love Weird Muscle, but I love you sisters with muscles because just something beautiful about you. People like I was a fan of people like Linda. I wasn't too fan of Linda, but Laura Craval, Vicky Gates. Um, you know, um, Andrea. Uh, I got to meet Rashada Boswell a couple of years ago when she was down here in North Carolina doing a seminar. I'm a fan of you ladies. Being like I said, I grew up. I had my mother and three older sisters,
Mhm.
and I've been around women most of my life. I had two other brothers and nephews, but I grew head of the family were my mother and my three older sisters. Also, I worked in textiles with women for 13 years, and I also worked in strip club for another 6 years. So I
Okay.
worked around women a lot, and I really, really love y'all. Same time, I appreciate what y'all do, but sometimes there's a little bit. Sometimes we hate you. Yeah. They're both our weakness and our strength. And my mother was my woman. She's been gone about 4 years. I miss her dearly, and this is the person that really, when I started using content because I was taking care of her, I need something to help my mindset. And I've been a
Mhm.
fan of the sport of body for a long time. And then to talk with you ladies and make content about y'all and share your stories and do these interviews, I really get a perspective of what you go through. I mean, I can never understand you as an athlete. That's who you are. You're an athlete. I can never understand what you do and how you do it, but I get to learn stuff when I do these interviews. Um, this is from my man KL. He says, with the difficulties of FBB, what keeps her going? So, what, like I said again, what keeps you going, especially competing? Now you get your Master Olympia qualification. Now, next year is is the possibility maybe get to Olympic qualification. What keeps you going?
Um, well, now definitely that because I qualified for the Masters, bringing my best package to date there. Um, I think my circle keeps me going also for the most part. My community that I have, they're super supportive for one, and they can't wish the best for me if I don't see the best in me, if I'm not putting my best foot forward. So I think the support from my circle is very key. Definitely helps me go because I live in Atlanta, but I'm a traveler for work, so I stay in a hotel 90% of the time. So I'm by myself. I prep in this hotel. I cook the same food, go to work. So I work out, repeat. So that I just think the support of having people that continuously to push me and me push them, that helps a lot. And then not only that, I have to send my check-ins every weekend. So I'm not trying to that helps me stay accountable too, right? But I think that for the most part.
She has a beautiful smile, guys. She has a beautiful smile. So yeah,
Oh, thank you.
what is your work? What do you do for a living?
So my background is radiology. So I do interventional radiology and now cardiology. So I work in the cath lab. I'm
Oh,
around STIMIs or heart attacks and things like that.
well,
Pacemakers.
you're talking to a man who has a pacemaker, had it for at least 10 years.
Okay.
Yeah, right
Okay.
here is my little buddy.
So it might be time for that battery change because they got a life
Yeah, I know. I got another two
lifespan.
years. I got another two
Yeah.
years. Yeah, I mean,
Okay.
I got to see my ortho, my no, my cardiologist in another month or so. But
Okay.
yeah, I do appreciate that. I remember when I had my first heart attack when I was 39 years old. It was at work.
Wow.
I thought I had a cold. I went to my sister's house. She told me go to the hospital. I went to I went to urgent care and sent me to the biggest hospital in the area, and then I was there for the cardiac for about a week till everything got together.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah.
I really appreciate you. I won't say it like this. I will say thank you for your service because you really help out people like myself. We really appreciate y'all,
Thank you.
and it's a
Yeah.
great opportunity to talk to someone like yourself. We have here from your girl T. She said, Maggie, you're a little late now. So yeah, yeah. Yeah, you're a little late now. But yeah, it's a lot to do this sport. And people need to understand that it's not about what drugs you take. Because I have people tell me, say, George, guys guys can take the gear I take, but it doesn't look like what I gonna look like because you know what, if they not stay, consistent and stick to the regimen of their training, it's
Mhm.
not easy. Like Ronnie Coleman says, everybody want to be a bodybuilder, but don't want to lift that heavy ass weight.
Right. Ronnie's something else. I just saw his interview with Shannon Sharp. It was really, really good. It was
Yeah.
good.
I was looking at some pictures. Linda and Lee was took a picture with Shannon.
Yeah. Yeah, he
Yeah,
came. He surprisingly he knows a lot about bodybuilding. In that interview, I was super impressed with Shannon. I've been following him since he started Club Shay Shay though, but before the Cat Williams thing. But I was super impressed on like just the questions that he asked. I'm like, oh, this man. Either he studied in that little short period of time, but you could tell it's only certain questions that you know to ask if you don't know what you're talking about. But it was a good interview. Yeah.
yeah.
I'm glad Shannon showed up.
I think bodybuilding does need that mainstream attention. I used to remember back in the
Yeah.
day, bodybuilding used to be on network television. You should catch it on CBS, not CBS, NBC or ABC. You
Oh
could
wow.
catch it. You should catch it on ESPN. Used to carry it. Um, Fox Sports used to carry it. But now you see sports like cornhole, you see
I
darts,
know.
poker, because everybody's going to use that. Well, it's about the steroids. It's not. That's just one
Mhm.
thing. Truthfully, everybody uses it. If you look at when baseball had a whole congressional hearing about steroids,
Exactly.
those guys are millionaires. If they want to take something to help them give them an edge, that's what they're going to do.
Exactly.
The whole thing with Marion Jones and Ben Johnson, those Olympic level competitors.
Hmm.
It's just so easy to pick on bodybuilding because it's such a fringe sport. You think about bodybuilding, you think about two names. That's Arnold Schwarzenegger and Lou Ferrigno, the Terminator and the Incredible Hulk. But
Hmm.
if people get more educated to, don't mind that some ass out there. If you get more educated to the sport, understand what's about the sport, the work you got to put in, the time you got to put in, the training. Don't
Yeah.
look so much at the steroids part of it. And one thing, if bodybuilding was more where it was like a mainstream sport where it was more affordable to compete. Like I said again, it costs y'all ladies a lot more, compared to the men. The tanning, the
Yeah.
training, and this and that. If this was like where it was, I mean, one lady said she wished that bodybuilding was more like a real job where, she wouldn't have to work because she worked as a third deputy in a jail. It would
Mhm.
cover the cost of when you go to a show, when you compete, the
Right.
cost of your when you get your card every year updated. All this
Yeah.
other stuff that's involved in it.
Yeah. Exactly. You definitely spend more than you make.
Yeah.
So we definitely do this because we are insane for one. We do this because we are insane people. But two, you gotta love it though. I mean, because you take a lot more losses than you do wins, and you spend more than you make. So
Yeah, the thing is, you
that
gotta
means
love it.
the math not mathing.
Yeah, the numbers not work like my man Jason says, men lie, women lies, numbers don't. So and you
Right,
you spending maybe a couple $1,000 on a suit, and then you might
right,
get, if you get first place, you might get $2 or $3,000, and then
right.
yeah,
And that doesn't cover. That doesn't even scratch the surface on probably what we spent.
yeah,
I
that's
mean,
just
you're appreciative. You know, you're getting something back, but that's a whole nother topic for another day.
yeah.
But
That's why I often like some of the ladies, especially after the shows, they do the photo sessions because it's a
yeah,
way to make a little money and income. As sometimes some women, for them to uh, you know, make way. Some do, as I call them, the beat the meat websites. That's what they are. We know what they are.
okay.
And it's just, if bodybuilding was more a lucrative sport, where which there was a way to make a living out of it. And I think if the mainstream wasn't so prejudiced, because news will tell about steroids, yeah, 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 yeah. But if you look at sport, it's a sport of taking the human body and transforming something different. The grace and beauty. If you look at divisions like even
Exactly.
your division, where you are more the slender, broad shoulders. You look at the
Mhm.
bikini girls. They look like the norm. You look at
Right.
wellness, which is the girls with a little bit thicker, with heavy bodies. You look at women's
Mhm.
bodybuilding, which is the muscle, the mass, and you look at physique, which is athletic built. And people see it like that. I think maybe the mainstream companies will like be more involved in it. Like, one thing is, are you sponsored? Do you have any sponsorship?
No, I don't have any mainstream. No,
Mm.
I sponsor myself.
Well, like I said, there's one
Yeah.
thing I think sponsors does help. I mean, it would help for some ladies to have, because I know some companies are kind of tentative. They want to have something that can really, represent their product. But this is why I like this. If I was someone, I would say, I like your story. I like who you are. I would like to sponsor you. But then, like I said again, you have those weird guys. You say,
Yeah.
hey, Tracy, yeah, I seen you that nice little
I
tuxedo
think
suit.
I hear what you said before you go there. I would say the difference too. When I got in this again, I'm in masters, so I'm in my 40s. I started bodybuilding after having a career. You know what I mean? So it was one of those things for me. I was fortunate that I was settled already. I didn't start this in my 20s, and I'm still, I won't say the struggle bus, but the struggle bus, because I think in your 20s and your 30s sometimes you're still trying to figure things out. I'm fortunate enough to be, not that sponsorship would not help. Please sponsor me, but I know what I can and I can't do, and what I can afford and what I can't afford. And I'm at a place, if I can't afford it, then I wouldn't do it. You know what I mean? So it's one of those things that, again, you have to understand you're taking more losses than you do wins. So you have to have some sort of pleasure out of this and still know you have to live after this. You know what I mean? If depending on what your goal is or what you're trying to achieve out of this. But yeah, sponsorships would help. But again, that's you being now having to post whatever the criteria is. You know what I mean? I see people who work their social media like a job. But again, I have a full-time job. I work 12 hours a day sometimes, for 4 days. So you have to have that time set aside to even get the sponsors' attention. So it's a lot that comes with being sponsored, and not just having given me a 20% off discount code. So what do you sponsor? What comes with that sponsorship? It has to make sense. The math has to math. And I think sometimes with athletes now, you got to know you're making these companies money. How are you benefiting off of this? I'm not just going to accept it because now, oh, you gave me a 10% or 20% off, and you get five. No, what are you actually going to pay for? Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. Like, one thing I think will help, especially for sponsors, like cover your costs of your interest fees, because as masters you got to pay interest fee. Cover the cost
Yeah,
of your travel expenses. Even
yeah,
if you get a suit sponsorship, that can cover your
yeah,
cost of your suits. Those things,
completely.
yeah, those things will be important. And also, in return, you get somebody who represents your company, and
Yeah,
and this, who share your passion for bodybuilding.
Yeah.
That's thing is,
Yeah.
I think the divisions, and I think some companies like to use divisions that are more aesthetically pleasing. That's more like bikini or wellness, or
Hmm.
even divisions that are more, as they want to say, fan friendly. But like I said, as a
Yeah.
fan, I would like to see y'all ladies get more opportunities. I mean,
Yeah.
many of you, some of the ladies are in those divisions not using certain products. They just put them on a cover or something
Yeah, and
because they
that's
look super
another
cute.
thing for me. Like, I wouldn't want to be posting something that I'm not actually using. That, I want to be able to say, this is what I'm using, this is what I'm doing, blah, blah, blah. And again, too, you got to be smart, too, versus posting it and you not getting nothing off of this. So that's the catch 22, like you want to get their attention, but but again, you're not trying to plug them if they're not helping you at the end of the day. So I don't know.
Yeah, that's
We'll see.
helping the person is important. You want to get, especially
Of
an athlete, to
course.
get, especially an athlete to the next level. We have your comment from your girl. She said, you know, it's delayed. I think which is must be something screen or something. I think because it's
Oh,
if you're watching a YouTube channel, it's different speed from when I'm on here in the stream yard. So sometimes it's side effects.
oh,
But like I
okay.
said, yeah. But yeah, I wish there was more opportunities for y'all ladies. Y'all deserve that because you put in the time, you put in the work. We
Yeah.
all know there's no such thing as a perfect world, but it could be a little better for you for anything.
Yeah.
So, folks, we're not gonna hold much longer because she just got finished working out. She's probably
Yeah.
tired. She got a little bully that's want her attention. So
Exactly. She's something else. She done went over there and went to sleep now, so good.
how long you had her?
I got her last Christmas, so she'll be 2 in July. So I
That's a
got her
big
at 6 months.
that's a big baby.
I know.
Yeah.
Little bully. That's exactly what she is,
Yeah.
a bully.
A little bully, you little bully. So, like I said, we don't hold much longer. We do appreciate the time she gives us. We wish
Thank
her the
you.
best. And I'm going to ask you, Chris, what would you want out of bodybuilding towards your own future?
What would I want out of bodybuilding?
That's a
A
tough
good
one. I got
question.
you, didn't I?
Yeah, like what would I per se want out of bodybuilding? Mm, I want to know that a fair chance, first of all, a fair chance, and actually get what I deserve. You know, um, acclimates can come and go. You feel good just getting up on stage. You're doing that's half the battle, but just being, yeah, I would definitely say just getting what I deserve out of it. And again, I guess that could be subjective because it's a subjective sport, but just getting a fair chance. That's what I want. Just a fair chance.
That's why you
Yeah.
want to prove yourself. This is, like I said, it's a
Yeah.
tough sport. There's a lot of top
Mhm.
competitors in here, and you want the opportunity to maybe in the future, instead again, get to the stage like the Olympia. You go into the
Yeah.
Masters Olympia, but still you want to go to the big show. You want to start with the big dogs.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And like I said again, this sport, people need to understand that there's so few rewards, so much risk. But
Hmm.
if you're determined enough and you are surefire enough that you want to get there, then accept those sacrifices. I know somebody's telling me that sometimes friendships have changed because they don't understand what you got into. Sometimes family kind of wonder why you're doing this. But as
Oh yeah.
long as you have, yeah, as long as you have your girl T here, your sister, and your other friends that support you, stand by you, that's good. That's most definitely that's good.
Yeah. Yeah. You not only learn who you are, you learn who's for you, who's not for you. It's one of those things. So yeah.
Yeah, yeah, it's the thing is. So, folks, I do like to thank y'all for coming through. My man Balls Deep. Shout out to man Kia, the Wonder. Shout out to Chief coming through. If you are someone here who wants to follow her social media links are in the description. You have anybody you want to shout out to before we let you go?
Just all my family and friends. Big, huge thanks to Forrest Hill, my coach, and Zenobia, who definitely pour into me continuously to bring my best package. So here's to next season being one of the best seasons. So yeah.
All right. I would tell you, yeah, I think you have a lot of potential. You're a lovely lady. Oh, my other guy got to say something before he goes and say he want to tell you something. You are beautiful.
Sweaty and all, sweat,
Oh, you know that
post
sweat.
workout and all. Thank you.
You know, there's an old smoke saying, when you ladies are rock hard, we'll rock hard.
Oh Lord, Lord.
Yeah, I'm sorry about him. Sometimes I gotta say specials about him, but it's hard for us to separate. He completes me. So so thank you for your time, Madam Lavoe. Thank you for your time and
Thank you.
best wishes on upcoming season. Like I said, and best of luck at the Masters Olympia. Truly.
I thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
As I said again, you don't have to thank me. It's just this is what I do. I appreciate it. I know you being polite, but I appreciate when I get to talk to you ladies and get your stories out there. People need to understand what it is, what it takes to be an athlete in sport. And and you're like yourself, you're an athlete, you're a woman who's in sport with your 10 toes on the ground. And that's why I like to give y'all ladies the opportunity to share your story so people can understand what it takes to be, a competitor in IFBB. And maybe somebody might aspire who might be wanting to get into the sport and understand the sacrifices and also a lot that you put yourself into when you get into bodybuilding.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
So anyway, folks, I appreciate time you've given us. Wish y'all the best of the rest of your weekend. Shout out to the lovely, Tracy Miller, aka Madame Laveau. Shout out again to the guests who were here. Her girl T, my man KL the Wanderer, also my man Balls D. And you watch this video, share, like, comment, subscribe, support us on social media. If you want to follow Madame Laveau, her links in the live stream. You can check her out. But guys, I keep telling you guys, no D pics, no sick shit. Stop it. Be respectful. Show interest. Show support. These ladies need that because it's a tough sport. People have a prejudice against women with muscle. Respect them as athletes, as women. All right? Okay? So you don't have no problems. Anyways, the man all the way, George Page, aka the Emperor of Female Body Talk. Don't like, subscribe. I am out. Have a good afternoon and good luck and a good night.
Thank you.
You are welcome.